Hi, Tom. Welcome to Sea Talk.
Thanks,
Tom,
Paul. Good to see you.
Yeah, great. So, Tom, today it's great to have Accolade on the platform. Do you want to give us a brief intro about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Tom Smith. I'm Marketing Director over at Accolade Wines for Europe. Been here now for nearly 2 years. So like many people, started just at the beginning of a pandemic and lockdown. But again, like everyone, we managed our way through. And now nearly 2 years in and had a great time. Just looking forward to continuing to work within the industry and driving the business forward.
Oh, great stuff. So the breadth of brands that you have for the retailers that don't know the wines that belong to Accolade, do you want to talk us through?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're lucky enough to have a vast and wide-ranging portfolio from a number of different countries, from a number of different price points, all the way from entry level to sort of premium plus. I guess the most familiar brands and the ones that are most relevant to the audience that we're talking to today within convenience are going to be Hardy's, obviously the number one wine brand in the UK. We have Echo Falls, and as part of that, Fruits Fusion, which is the number one fruits brand in the UK. Jam Shed, the fastest growing wine brand in Impulse and everyone's new favourite friends. Absolutely flying, which is great. We've got Mudhouse, which is obviously more of a premium play, but become really well established. And we've come on to talk about some of the extensions we've made in there. Those more like Kamala, Barossa Inc. We've recently acquired Lambrini as well. So lots and lots of brands, but all playing a good role and doing different things for different audiences in the wine category.
Wow. So, from the all important, we've just gone through the summer and the Fruit Fusion, Echo Falls, that done really well. Into the Jam Shed. I mean, I just can't believe where Jam Shed's come from and where it is in retail now in convenience. I mean, this is just everyone's favourite, Jam Shed Malbec and Jam Shed Shiraz. We can't believe how well it's doing for ourselves.
Yeah, it's one of those, you want to kind of take credit for it. But sometimes these things just take on a kind of journey of their own. You land on something, again, slightly before my time at Accolade, but, you land on something that resonates with consumers that I think probably did something different that was in the category that wasn't there before. And that was almost have this kind of brand first approach and really stand out with a very different looking label, a wine style that people really got into, slightly sweeter. And then it kind of just snowballs on from there. And that's allowed us to, really take the brand into other country of origin. So you talked about then the move for Argentina into Malbec. We've got a Rosé now, a Chardonnay. But obviously, there's still the kind of hero SKU from the beginning has been the Shiraz, which is the one that's really, driven the brand forward. I think what's been really great is actually how consumers take to that brand and have engaged with it. I mean, they're the kind of, it's almost a brand for them. They're the ones that do all the talking about it. They're the ones on social contacting us, chatting to us about it. Whenever we do a competition, they're massively engaged with it. Most recently, we did an on-pack 200,000 entries. So it's just flying and very proud to have it in the portfolio.
Wow. So, from going from, the family of Echo Falls, the family of Hardy's, the VRs, the Nottage Hills, the Stamps, Jam Sheds, and the Mudhouse. I mean, Mudhouse is just an incredible wine, right?
Yeah, Mudhouse, I'll be honest, before I started Accolade was probably the one brand that really stood out for me and as a wine consumer that I sort of drunk before. Obviously, now I drink the full portfolio, Paul. I think Mudhouse is always that whole category, I guess, in the sense of that region from New Zealand and the styles that you get from that. I think Mudhouse, then you overlay the brand and the sense of adventure that it brings, and it's really kind of resonated with consumers. And more recently, we've now extended that into Mudhouse Chili, which again is going great guns. Only recently launched, and we look to extend that brand, I think, out further. But all the signs are pointing that the Chili Mudhouse is a great opportunity, and I think specifically for this channel as well, being able to have a brand that has already does a great job and really stands out and that people know, to be able to extend that and offer that reassurance to people that come into the convenience stores and into Impulse channel, I think would be a big benefit to extend that range.
So you touched on category just then for a minute. And, I think, looking at the Accolade Advantage platform, I've been on myself, I've registered it, I've ordered my POS, and it's so easy to do. And I think, this is what independent retailers want. how can they, do things off the way that they live now, which is digitally and off their mobile phone. And the education piece that's behind it on the app is just tremendous. So I think let's go into it and let's talk about, about the platform and, tell the retailers how, why, and what to do.
Absolutely. So we introduced Accolade Advantage as a way to, I guess, bring wine advice and supporting materials much closer to retailers and give them access to things at a push of a button that might normally take them a while to seek out. So it's effectively a platform which you visit at accoladeadvantage.co.uk. Any retailer can go on. You can register. First and foremost, it's a really important for kind of quick, simplistic kind of wine merchandising and tips advice, which I think is really, really important. All the way through to kind of a free point of sale kit across all of our core brands at the moment, that by a click of a button and adding it to your basket, you can get things from wobblers, posters, and all the rest of it sent straight to your store to activate the category and drive that standout across core portfolio.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting. You can see this now. We've got Jam Shed up on the screen, and it gives what retailers need. It gives us that education point that we need still as retailers. Which can, it makes us more professional within our stores. There's more trust with the shopper as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a real balance between, offering advice that we do. And I've kind of been in the industry and FMCG for a long time. I know that every big supplier will be offering advice to your independent retailers across every category. And I think sometimes it can probably be overwhelming. And what we really try to do is, what are the key messages? What are the simplistic things and easily to do that makes the shopping journey effective and efficient for people that come into your stores? And then likewise, just offer you some more support that can drive a bit more excitement within the fixture through the point of sale. So hopefully it does that. I see it very much as the start of this piece. I think long term, I'd like to see us push it even further with maybe, simple scan to mechanics on pack that the retailers can get involved with and even make it that quicker and more accessible point into almost a loyalty scheme, I think is what it will turn into long term.
That's very good. I mean, and it's great, it's having a brand that's supporting the convenience sector. So, hats off to you guys at Accolade. So look, we're coming up to the most important time of the year, which is Christmas. What's your top tip for retailers, Tom?
Top tips for retailers. I think for me is to keep it simple. I think it's really tempting to try and overcomplicate everything, overcomplicate fixtures, chuck everything at it, try and cater to a lot of different needs. So I think a real focused range, you're going to see a bit of trade up. So as long as you've got your range and your different price tiers in place that allow people to shop effectively, I think that would be probably more important than anything, is having that focused range. Yeah.
So look, that's great, and I think in the short time that we've had today, I think we've got the great point over about Accolade Advantage platform, and we'll share the address on the platform. And it's been great having you on the site, Tom. Really appreciate your advice.
Brilliant, great to talk to you. Cheers, Paul.
Thank you, Tom.